Okay. So shall we say our prayer?
Sure.
Om Shantani Purvarupani
Om Shantani Purvarupani
Shantam no Astu Kritakritam
Shantam no Astu Kritakritam
Shantam Bhutam Cha Bhavyam Cha
Shantam Bhutam Cha Bhavyam Cha
Sarvameva Shamastu Naha
Sarvameva Shamastu
Sarvameva
Naha
Shamastu Naha.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Shanti
Om
Shanti
Shanti.
Shanti.
Okay. So any questions from last time? Otherwise, as you know, I will ask you the questions. No. Okay. So let me start with the third one. Or third is okay. The fourth one we'll start with. So was the distinction between the Adi Devik and Adi Bhautik clear?
Yes.
Clear. Okay. So now let us go with the Adi Devik first. Again, we'll go quarter verse by quarter verse. So Kamas Tadagre, Samavartad Adhi. Who wants to take it up? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in the beginning, this pre-creation stage,
Yeah.
God has this overwhelming desire or wish or intent to create the universe.
Correct. Then
So-
Manaso Retah, Prathamam Yadasit.
So I continue.
Somebody else can also take it up. Otherwise, Kala, you continue.
Yeah, so the initial, there are two interpretations. So this is the first one.
Yeah.
So from God itself, the very first particles were made from the primordial matter. And these had this rate, what you call the very first particles. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Correct.
I don't know where the words end. So
Huh? Where
I
it
don't
ends?
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the meaning of Pradhamam Yadasit?
In the beginning, what was there? Yat, what? And Prathamam in the beginning, and Asit was.
Okay.
And here, Manasa is from God. So God is called Mana over here. Okay. Sato Bandhum Asati Niravindan. This somebody will have to go with the full line. Hridi Pratisha Kavayo Manisha. So who wants to take up the next line? Somebody has to come up. We have 2 missing students today.
So the very evolved ones, the rishis,
Yeah.
those could see the bond or the relation between the sat and the asat, the matter and the soul, because of the how it is bonding together rather.
No, go with the Adi Devik version first.
How Parabrahman is creating the bond between the...
No. Sat and Asat have different meanings in
Okay.
Between the Adi Devik and the Adi Bhautik.
Right. So the Sat is the Brahman and Asat is what is there in the stupor, right?
More
something
like
that we
the
are not
Karya Karana Bhava of
Yes. Karya Karan Bhava. So all the Karyas are Sat and the Karan is Asat.
okay.
So in this meaning, the souls don't come in, right?
Sorry?
In this meaning, it's just primordial matter getting converted into the particles. No?
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
So Asat, as we have been seeing, Asat is the primordial matter. So same meaning continues into this mantra as well. So Asat is the primordial matter and
Yeah.
Sat is the Karya matter. Okay, so just repeat it once more, Prashanti.
So the evolved souls can see this transformation of Mahat into particles.
Right.
Or
Correct. In their mind's eye, Hriti.
in their minds. So
Manisha
here,
and Manishaya. That means with their discriminatory powers.
yeah. So that means the a rishi can see this in their state of deep samadhi
Correct.
later, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
They can go
Later.
to this level. Probably is what here also
Yes, exactly. That is an indication that it is completely unavailable through science or through reasoning, but through samadhi, we can go a little further. Not all the way, as we will see in some later hymn, but to some extent.
Yeah. So this also is almost at the third stage, right? Like probably even the rishis cannot see the first evolution where it just turns into Mahat. But from there, when the particles start getting separated, is till then is what a rishi can also,
No, you
be
are
able to.
presuming that he is going logically, but it is not through Anuman that these rishis see. They do Sakshatkar.
Yeah, Sakshatkar only to this level, but not the transformation of the Mahat, because this is where he says the rishis can see this.
So then we have to take it as Mahat only, no? From Asat to Sat transformation.
Okay.
Yeah. So they, and actually here what is missed out is this Bandhum. Sato Bandhum Asati. In Asat, they can see the linkage of the Sat. So whether they can see the transformation is actually not said, but they are able to see how it is coming out of Asat, in the sense that they can sense that there is an Asat which is there and the Sat is bound to that Asat. Okay. Clear? Any questions are there? Now let us
sometimes like you have pointed out earlier. No, I think Ahan has a question. Let him go first.
Ahan has a question. Okay, Ahan, go ahead.
So, Satchidanand always, every time, he always he will destroy the universe in Pralay, then he will create it again. He always gives if you do good, he will give you. He always gives consequence. So always same thing. So does he have freedom, or he has to do same things all the time?
No, he has freedom and he has to use intelligence as well. It is not as if he is a machine and there is an algorithm only, and given all the inputs, the output is fixed. No, it is not like that. He has to apply his intellect, intellect not as in a thing, but as in intelligence, and determine the consequence, and he can change it even midway. So that is why we say, that prayers are also useful, because when we really deeply ask for something, God just might, in his merciful presence, he might just change it as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
But the universal law pretty much stays the same, right? Because Vedas will come again as it is, as they are now, of in any pralayam, or after any pralayam also, it is the same that comes, right? So the universal law, or whatever that we follow at the bottom, should be the same.
By universal law, what do you mean?
I mean, what the guidelines that we get from Vedas are,
Oh yes, dharma remains the same.
Yeah, dharma. Yeah, if I have to say, yeah.
Yeah, so this is, as I've given once many times before, this example, you look upon it as the judicial system. So you have the rules which you have to follow as a society, given to you, given to each citizen of that society, that country, or whatever the subsection may be. And now, so these rules are available to everybody. This is their dharma. And then after that, if they break that dharma and it goes into the courts, then it is up to the judge. He also has a constitution by which he has to go. But as you know, even the judges have to apply discretion, and they have to apply their intelligence to see the precedents, and what the impact would be on society, etc., etc. So they, and the whatever causes which may have gone into this act, and what the state of the person is, etc., etc. So the judge just doesn't read the constitution and then tuck the outcomes, the output.
True.
So just like he has to apply all that intelligence, similarly God also has to apply many factors in it, and then determine what is the consequence. So he can combine many karmas and give you one result, or he can take one karma and split it into many results. So all that he will do based on whatever he feels is right. And there is, you need not know that law book, because it is extremely complex and it is of no consequence to you. Just like you need not know the constitution if you don't want to know. That is not of importance to you as a citizen. Constitution is of course not as difficult as the laws of karma, but still it is fairly complex, more complex than the rules that you have to follow. We only have difficulty following the income tax rules. So if we had to learn all other rules as well, it would be that much more difficult. And one has to go through the law school to understand all the laws. So without knowing those, it's pretty tough. So that part, how God determines what consequences to be given for which deeds, that is,
that's his freedom.
That is, and it is unknown to us.
True.
Yes, Anne, go ahead.
But suppose we wanted to know, is it possible?
Theoretically, yes, but practically, no. If you had unlimited intelligence, yes, you could know.
So for humans, it's not possible.
Yes, for human beings, it is not possible. These are deeds which are running across births, and which firstly you will have to know everything which is coming over from previous births also into this birth, and then what factors have gone into God's decision. We can be quite confident that the number of factors which the judge considers, those will be far less than the factors which God has to consider. So it will be a very complex exercise.
But like the general rule book sort of, would we know at least? Like
your rule book is a dharma. So Vedas are your rule book, and you have been told you should behave like this. And you have been told that if you don't behave like this, then you will get sorrow in your life. And so the consequences are going to be the janma, the yoni, which you are born in, the species which you are born as, and the lifespan which you are given, and the bhoga which you can have. That means how much happiness or sorrow is there in your life. So the general rule book has been given.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, Anuj, you wanted to say something?
No. My question was answered when I revised the Adhyatmic meaning. The Sat Asat, the distinction is what is the difference. I understood.
Okay. Okay, so who wants to take up the Adhyatmic meaning now? We will again go back and start line by line, not quarter by quarter in this one. Kamas tadagre samavartadadhi manaso retaha prathamam yadasit. The Adhyatmic meaning. Who wants to take up?
Okay, the Adhyatmic meaning, one distinction it draws in how it maps the Sat and Asat to now it starts to bring in, instead of just between primordial matter and visible matter, it tries to distinguish it between visible matter and the soul, which is called the pure or the Sat, and Asat being the temporary, which is the visible matter. So and basically here the conclusion is that the one who realizes this distinction between what is the truth and what is the temporary untruth, temporary thing or the untruth, is the one who can attain moksha. That path is suggested in the using this Kavayo Manisha path. Yes.
Okay, so that is actually the second line. Sato bandhum asati niravindan hriti pratisha kavayo manisha. So the kavis, that is the those whose intellect is beyond ours, are able to figure out in their mind's eye that sato bandhum asati, in this transient matter, how the soul is hooked in the body. Okay, that is again something which is not possible to figure out through the senses. So therefore you have to go back and sit in samadhi and discover that. So they discover that, and this niravindan, avindan is discovered, and niravindan implies that they kind of get disillusioned, and they feel that okay, so that this part, this asat part is not me, and so they become renunciates. So coming back to the first line, kamas tadagre samavartadadhi manaso retaha prathamam yadasit. Somebody has to take it up for the adhyatmic meaning. Okay, go ahead. Shri Vidya, where are you?
The karma of Adhyatmic, right? The karma of the souls for the consumption has started this wheel of the creation in the beginning.
No, not the wheel, the bondage only.
Yeah, the bondage. I mean, wheel as in the whole creation part. I was just going to, yeah, the bondage to the matter.
No.
Can I try?
Yes, go ahead, Kala.
What I understood is here the souls which have been lying inert, like they have sort of frozen at a point of time with all their desires, unfulfilled desires in them.
Yeah.
So at that point, they get the desire to come to life. And the very first particles or the wraith is the seeds or the genetic matter which is attached to the souls.
Yeah, not fully, but Yeah, partially. So see, in the very beginning, so this is not the souls need not even wake up for that, but now we are beginning talking of the beginning of the creation itself. So here now what we saw in the Adidaivik version was the Upadan Karan. Now we are actually, that was also calm in that case was God's desire to create. So that was also Nimitta Karan. Here again, one more Nimitta Karan we are seeing, and that is the desire of the souls to consume material goods. Okay, so this desire, this is what Raunak asked, that because the souls were in a stupor, the desire did not exist for bhoga. So that question is correct in a very logical fashion. But the fact is that the God has been the conscious factor throughout both Srishti and Pralay. He, even though Pralay is a Brahma Ratri, it's not as if God is unconscious. He is conscious throughout that. So he knows at what state Pralay had happened and what was the state of the souls at that time, what was their desire at that time. So now he has to bring it back to that state again. So he already knows where A was, where B was, what did A want, what did B want, etc. So he has the whole pothi of all the souls which is there and where they stand in terms of their desires. Based on those desires, now he creates this universe again and makes room for these particular souls in that. Okay, so kamastad agre samavartat adi. Adi implies overpowering. So now what is being told is that actually the cause of this universe, that means the way this universe gets created, is actually because of the desires of the souls only. It is not God who really desires anything from this. Now here in terms of desire, we it is that want. So that God does not want anything from this world, from this universe. It is the souls that want something from it, and it is his duty to create this universe so that these souls can go out and fulfill their desires. Okay, in a dharmic fashion, of course, is what he recommends. So that the desire of the souls determines now the creation of this universe. So both God's desire, because without, as Kala says, intent, the intent of God, nothing can get created. So he has to first wish, okay, let the universe come up. So then the universe starts getting created. But the reason why this universe has to come up is for the souls, to achieve their goals. So the goals we know, right? 4 goals of the souls: dharma, artha, kam, and moksha. So dharma is to follow the path of righteousness. Arth is to have finances, to have money. That is arth. Kam is all desires other than money. Money is just actually a sadhana. So to achieve, to get fulfill all the other desires which you have, worldly desires. These are all dharma, arth, and kam. These are worldly goals. Then, or purusharth, actually, it is called purusharth in the sense that one works towards that. And then you have the other worldly goal, which is moksha, which is completely diverse from these 3 others. And then that is when you want friendship with God, you want to see God, you want to be close to God. So that is moksha, when actually you give up the whole world, all the desires for this world, and you have only one left, a desire left, and that is for God.
But isn't there a chaya of dharma at least, if not the other two on the 4th path?
Absolutely, absolutely. If you do not follow dharma and attain your artha and kama by means of adharmic deeds, then you cannot even come close to the path to moksha. So as these two paths are forking out, if you have to move towards the moksha path, you have to get into the dharmic path. Here, this is a wide road where you can take many paths, varying in the range of dharma. You know, on the spectrum of dharma, you can be from minus infinity to plus infinity. You know, the very wide range of dharma. So you can be a murderer, or you can be a very pious person. So in that path, you can go any which way. So if you are not on the dharmic side of that path, you cannot even come close to taking that leap to the path of moksha. You will go further and further away from moksha. So
Okay,
yes.
so the Artha and Kama have dharmic and adharmic traits. Moksha is purely dharmic. Okay, that sense.
No. Moksha, the path of moksha doesn't have any dharma or adharma. See, just think about it. Dharma is in relation to other souls. Okay, there is no dharma for yourself alone as a soul. There is no dharma for God himself. So that is why performing rituals is actually meaningless. It doesn't go to God. It's because you are in a body, say performing Agnihotra being a dharma, because you are in a body and you are generating effluence. Every moment that I'm speaking, I'm breathing, I'm giving out carbon dioxide and consuming oxygen. So that is also toxin in a way. So all the time I'm consuming something and I'm generating effluence. So to counteract that, I have to perform Agnihotra. So in a sense, I am doing adharma just by living. So to counteract that papa, I have to do Agnihotra to just remove all those toxins. So it is again something which I am doing for this world and for all the beings who are there in it, including myself, because I am also a body. So always dharma is in relation to this world and to other beings. It has nothing to do with actually the soul. While moksha is the path where you go in the discovery of the soul.
But there is no written dharma law or something that I have to be like this, I have to be like that, I have to be like that. If there is any law, is there?
Yeah,
written
sure.
law?
Vedas are giving you dharma only.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
the Vedic dharma. That is
Vedic dharma.
Yeah. What the Vedas propound are how you should lead your life.
Leader, okay.
Or more practically from Manusmriti and such.
Yes, Manu has extracted all the knowledge of the Vedas and put it in a way which is easier for us to comprehend.
Follow it. Okay.
Yeah.
And another thing, Uttaraji, that soul does not have the innate intent to go to get to the moksha.
It does.
It does, no?
Yeah.
But worldly things makes the soul to be more attracted towards that material
So
things.
as I've told you earlier too, that the soul is, you can consider bipolar. So it has one side, one desire towards the world, and on the other side, it has this desire towards God. So it enjoys God's presence as well. Just like you, if you sit in a meditation and you feel little bit the presence of God, you will feel that little happiness which surges inside you. That also you enjoy. And similarly, when you are enjoying my favorite jalebi,
material things enjoying.
yeah, then that also the soul enjoys. So it has this desire to go on both sides. So it is for us to stop the desires of the jalebi and move them into desire for God. That is the higher goal. So once we start understanding that actually my life is meant for this, more for this higher goal and less for this worldly enjoyments, that is when I start moving towards moksha. But yeah, sure, you can spend your life doing dharma, artha, and kama as well.
For me, more attractive is the Jivan Mukta description rather than this inert Mukta Bhava, because there again our karma guides us back into this basically illusion delusion cycles of life and
But
state of
Jivan Mukta
inertness.
is a Mukta being only. He is
That's what
actually,
I like, that because there is then staying here you can guide and aid and move in a dharmic way.
he is above dharma. At that point, the soul is does not have any dharma at all. And the Jivan Mukta can do what they feel like. It's they don't have any duties, they don't have any dharma, no nothing. It's
But
completely.
once they get the Jivan Mukta, attain that, they can come back, no, retrieve back also possible, no?
Jivan Mukta is the soul which has
Attain the
become,
moksha.
is ready for moksha, who has
Okay.
actually become ready for moksha. He has done all the necessary stuff to achieve moksha. He is just continuing in his body, and then as I told you, it's actually up to the soul to determine when it wants to leave the body.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is why it is called Jivan Mukta.
Jivan
While
Mukta.
living, it is actually free. It is already
Okay.
it is in salvation.
Okay.
Okay.
Putraji, going back to this sutra, we
Correct.
have to read Adhyatmic and Adidaivik together, right? Because of the desire of the soul for the consumption, God got this inspiration or intent to create.
No, so here in the Adhyatmic version now, Reta does not mean the particles now. Reta means actually the beej of creation of beings. Okay, so it moves from the Adidavic version of particles into the genes, genetic material, or whatever is the reproductive thing which is required to create other beings. The cell, essentially cell division. Okay, so that now Retaha is created. Prathama is the cause for creation of beings. Okay, so both sides the meaning changes in the case of Adhyatmic. All right, I think I will end this session here and start the new one since we are running out of time.